Hi friends, for those who don't know me, my name is Miss Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us of part 2 of week 10 for Moa's Mini Masters at Home. Today's theme is all about nighttime. Hopefully you joined us earlier for part 1. You can find it on our website, wisconsinart.org, in which we had an art discussion about Francisco Spicuzza's painting, as well as we read the story of Bedtime for Bear. So let's start with today's art project. First of all, let's make sure we go to our website, wisconsinart.org, and find the PDF that lists all of the supplies needed for today's project. It should look like this. Okay, so here is our list needed for today. Today we need paper, we need a paper plate, string, scissors, and then coloring supplies. For today's project, I will be using markers and washi tape as my two coloring supplies, but you guys can use whatever you'd like. For today's project, we will be making a star mobile to hang in a room or in a doorway, and it'll be a lot of fun. So once we have our supplies ready, let's go on to our step-by-step directions. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to grab our paper plate. It can be a full-size paper plate, it can be a little bit smaller, that's totally fine. Make sure it's not super thick because we're going to be cutting into it. The first thing we're going to do is draw a line on it. We're going to follow this line to cut. So with our piece, we're going to start here and we're going to cut on the line. And we're going to kind of create a snake shape with that. So when we're done cutting, we should be able to lift up our plate so it makes a spiral shape. Okay, so then we're going to set aside our spiral and we're going to move on to the next part of our mobile. We're just going to take a piece of paper. It can be colored, it can be construction paper, it can be thicker paper, it does not matter. And this is what we're going to make our stars out of. So I went ahead and I drew a bunch of stars onto my paper. They do not have to be perfect. You can do stars any way you'd like. It just gives you something to cut out, a line to follow. So once that was done, I flipped my paper over and decided to have fun with some washi tape. As you can see, I have quite a bit. You don't have to use washi tape. You can use paint, you can use markers, colored pencils, crayons. But what I did is I picked an area on my paper, which I knew where the stars were. And I picked the back of that and started designing in that space. Okay, so as you can see, I chose these yellow and gold colors and I just kind of went crazy and overlapped and had fun in that area. Once I was done with that area, I cut my star out. So once you're done, you can flip over your paper and follow on the lines to make sure you're cutting out the star you drew. Then I went ahead and started doing the next one. And as you can see, I kind of mixed up my colors a little bit. I did some oranges, some metallics, and had fun that way. So this is what you're going to do for all of your stars. Again, they don't all have to be with washi tape. You can do a variety of things. Have fun with it. So when I was done and I cut all my stars out, it looked like this. So as you can see, I have 6 stars. I believe I made a 1 too many, but that's okay. So when I was done with my stars, I flipped them over because the side was white. So as you can see, I have my colorful star. If you flip it over, it doesn't look so pretty. So I decided to go ahead and color the back of my star whatever way I want it. So I just used markers and created a pattern. That way when my star would be hanging on my mobile and it was turning, it would be pretty on both sides. You can use washi tape on both sides, you can color both sides. Again, totally up to you. Then I brought back my snake paper plate and I put a bunch of holes in it. The most important one is to make sure you put a hole at the very, very top because this is what it'll be hanging from. So that top hole will actually be used to hang it to whatever you're hanging it to. So that might be your ceiling, that might be a bedpost, it might be something else. Then I also made sure I put holes in all of my stars as well. So as you can see right up here, there's a little hole, nothing too big, nothing to prevent my star from ripping in half, but enough that I would be able to get string through it. Then I take my string and I cut a loop. Okay, and this will be for the top part of my mobile to hold it on. So once I have it, I just made a loop. And I stuck that through the top of my mobile in that hole. And then take it and make a hole like so. Tuck this in. Okay. As you can see, I'll be able to pull through. So tuck it in, and pull tight, and then you will have a knot. And then that will be able to be secured for your mobile. So that is what it will be able to hang on to. I cut enough string for all of my stars, and then I went through and started tying those together. So I put one end of my string through my star, and then I just latched it to the further up, like so. And I did the same type of knot that I did for the top of my mobile. So then once I had that knotted, I was able to put the end of my tail through my paper plate and then knot that as well. Just to extra support it, I secured it with tape just so it wouldn't fall through. You want to make sure your knot is thicker than your hole so it doesn't fall straight through your hole. Okay, so I went through and finished tying them up, and this is what it looks like when it's finished. It's another photo. I just hung mine up in my window. If my window's open, it will spin around. So let's see it up close, shall we? Okay, so up close, here is my mobile. As you can see, it's rather tall. It doesn't quite fit into my frame, but you can notice that it does spin around and you can see both sides of the stars. So hopefully you guys enjoyed making the Star Mobile. Remember, you guys can totally make it your own project. It does not have to be stars. You can use whatever shape you want. And if anyone has any questions or wants to share photos of their finished product, my email address is on that PDF supply list. It's jgibbon@wisconsinart.org. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to send me an email, reach out. I hope everyone is doing well during this time. Thank you so much for watching another week of Mini Masters at Home. And I hope that I see you next time. In the meantime, happy creating.